through and beyond the pandemic. And so God has been good, and He's graced us here yet another day. And it's a beautiful thing when we can come together and we can combine all the goodness, all the bragging, all the blessings that God has done for us, but also we can be a crying shoulder. It's not a coincidence that it is termed as a body. A body is connecting members towards one cause, affected by one brain main system with the same blood and energy and purposes. So we beyond our horizons. We're allowing God to take us to new levels in different places, but we don't start running without a pride. You've engaged it, and you've become alert and been transparent and prepared to work, because we can have a way to work as we post our goals and our initiatives. We plan on achieving them. And it only happens together. It's not going to be a Brother Young thing alone. It's not going to be a Brother Miller thing alone. It's not going to be an individual alone. It's going to be a team effort. It's an old claim and form called, they say there's no I in team. There's an old saying, there's no I in team. We'll be in Mark chapter 5, beginning at verse 24. And we will terminate at verse 34. Mark chapter. She had borne much agony under the care of many physicians, had only grown worse. When the woman heard about Jesus, she came up through the crowd behind him and touched his cloak. For her bleeding stopped, and she sensed in her body that she was healed of her affliction. And once Jesus was aware of that power, the crowd pressing on you, yet you ask, who touched me? But he kept looking around to see who had done this. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came, fell down before him, trembling in fear. She told him the whole truth. Verse 34, it says, Daughter, said Jesus, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be free of your affliction. Beloved, I want to preach to you today upon the title, The Divine Truth. Uses to identify someone that what they're wearing. Before this woman gets a hold of Jesus, there's a synagogue leader whose daughter is dying, is on her deathbed. And all they want to do is get close to Jesus, because Jesus possessed to achieve something great. Hardly ever do people of great success have to look for friends, because everybody wants to be friends with those in the in crowd. In high school, we put that jersey on with pride. We go back to the dating days, that might guarantee you a phone number just because you was on a team, or a team that represented a gladiatorial representation. That if you were part of something great that people admired, or if you had something that people could find great use for, they all 12 years. And the issue is that she has an unstopped bleeding condition. Some believe that it was a period of time, lasts for years. It is something bigger than us. And when you run into something that is supposed to be natural, but it stick around for a decade, you have an issue. There's something that should not be happening, that should not be occurring for the length of time. Sometimes the last place we look, and that's at the feet of Jesus. People. And everybody in the crowd is not necessarily a part of your company. And so in this sense of Jesus, this power, this healer, the divine one walking through the crowd, you got to understand that there's all natures of people amongst him. There are people that want to be and get a touch of Jesus because of his clout. There's clout when we try Jesus. We try a job, it's bad, and then we become super religious. You ain't got to say amen on that. But only until the options or the cards are out of our favor that we try him. Culturally formal for a woman to engage a man like this. Religiously, nobody should touch a priest at all. He is an honored servant of God. Middle of the crowd, engaging with folks outside of the temple area. And so for Jesus' position that he is in, for this woman to be where she is at, to grab Jesus, lets her know, and lets us know reading in the text, that the gloves are off. This woman's not worried about